And if you can, just jump into the chat box. I am, first of all, excited about this opportunity. I shared with Jordana that I get an opportunity to travel literally all over the world to be able to speak on meditation and mindfulness and all those areas of what we like to call having a renewed life. But it's moments like this. It's moments like this where I'm truly able to hone in on those individuals that not only matter, but that are representative of those core values that I hold so dear to me. So when the opportunity came to speak at the Vet Summit, it was a no-brainer. It's like whatever I have going on, I was supposed to be somewhere else. I said, nope, cancel that, and let me do what I love to do with people that I love to do it with. So just being back in this session, even right now, makes me feel so great that I have been able to navigate the waters of life, coming from, of course, a military background into what we have right now in a very chaotic world. So, of course, we're talking about moving from chaos to calm. We live in a very chaotic world right now, and I think that we all can understand, we all can recognize just that the things that were stagnant at one point are very much moving. Things are changing at a very rapid pace, and in the midst of that, we're told to fall in line. And I think that's one of the hardest things that individuals are able to do. And so we're gonna go and push forward. I'm gonna tell you right now, I absolutely love speaking. Sometime I can get to rolling. If you need to tell me, hey, slow down a little, I'll go ahead and slow down. If you have any questions in the midst, or you raise your hand, use the question and answer box so that we can be able to capture those questions. It's going to be information. My aim today is to give you some tools, techniques, and tips to be able to use to quickly be able to go from chaos to calm. Or when you feel that somebody is kicked the leg out from under your chair and you're trying to stabilize and balance your life, this is the moment right now. And I tell people, and I'm going to be biased, this is probably the most important 57 minutes that you will ever be entertained, because I truly believe the information that I will share today will help you be able to have a new life from going from a chaotic world full of anxiety, full of stress, to now, man, I'm able to really navigate this thing. So I am excited about it. So let me just go ahead and start with just one statistic that is very near and dear to me for so many reasons. And that number is 30,177. 30,177. Unfortunately, it's 30,177 veterans have committed suicide as research in 2021. That is apart from 7,057 that have passed away because of wartime missions. Those individuals found something going on in their life that it just was too much to bear. So when I speak on issues of showing individuals how to go from chaos to calm, this is something that really matters to me. After having a good friend, highly decorated Marine veteran, everything going well, nice family, great career, and one day I get a call at 3:33, I'll never forget, in the morning, to tell me that my friend that I went to boot camp with and served with had now taken his life. There was no signs. We didn't understand why, but all we knew is that he was gone. So it's moments like this, moments like that, that begin to shake up the core of your existence. Because now we search for answers to find out why we do what we do. And when life becomes so hard, how do I balance when I have nothing to balance? When everything that seems so leveled starts to tilt. It's moments like that that allow me to do exactly what I do. So I know your question and I hear you very closely. Well, who am I? I am Dejr Bostick. Dejr Kenyan Bostick, if my mom would say it. She said, don't forget that middle name. There's power in that. But it's Dejr Kenyan Bostick, born in Miami, Florida, to two Caribbean American parents. Um, Everything was fine until one day my mom decided not to come home. And my dad, who was an Army veteran, went to Harvard at 12 years old, did intel for the Army, and overall just a brainiac and a good man, took me and my sister and set us on the front steps of an orphanage and walked away forever. So you can tell, I can tell you right now that my life didn't start well. But from there, I instantly felt that anything that I loved would leave me. So I approached every situation from that place that I was not going to fully commit to anything. The truth of the matter, I barely graduated from high school. I think I had like a 2.1 or something like that. And in the midst of all of that, I still was able to stay here. But in 2006, when I got out, something changed because when I entered into the Marine Corps, it taught me things that I never thought was possible. It taught me responsibility. It taught me discipline that I had never experienced before. And when I got out from this perfect military world, I was now faced with chaos in ways that I had never thought possible. I found myself being full of anxiety and stress because the world that I had just left, everybody was zip tight. Everybody had a mission. Everybody had a purpose. Only to now leave and go out into a world where nothing stayed the same. And for most individuals, that's where we find our greatest challenge is how do I balance things when everything around me is coming undone and without balance? So in the midst of all of that and me not being able to balance this thing called life, I lost everything. I lost my family, lost my wife, lost my career, because it was so hard for me to be able to deal with the new and changing life that was created. And in those moments right there, I thought that I was at the bottom of the bottom. I was at the furthest you can go. And that's when I turned to meditation and mindfulness. And what it did, it showed me how to slow things down so that I can now slowly piece my life back together. It showed me techniques and tools to deal with my anger because I was a very angry man. It showed me how to deal with my anxiety. It showed me how to not always be looking for situations and troubles and problems. I would go into certain areas and just expected things to be a certain way. And whether they were not, I couldn't deal with it. So it is that place that it showed me how to, okay, how do you balance in an unbalanced world? See, I found so many different ways. And today I want to share with you some of these tips and techniques that I use daily to be able to find balance in an unbalanced world. And more importantly, to find calm in the midst of the chaos. And the truth of the matter is my chaos may be totally different from your chaos. My chaos could be my family, my mom, my brother, my siblings. Your chaos could be the fact that guess what? I overeat because I'm so bored with the type of life that I have. Your chaos could be that you're so angry and so upset because you were at one point esteemed in your profession, esteemed in your ranks. And now that you're retired, it seems like somehow you've been forgotten. See, it's those moments right there that we're able to create a shift. Some of my close friends always tell me that, Basa, you are the king of it's never too late. My life had got so out of control to where I had gained 248 pounds when I'd always been about 160. And by using tools and techniques and by really finding out who I wanted to be in this next phase of my life, I was able to shift things and change in a way that I never thought possible. So when I speak to individuals like we're going to talk about today, please understand it comes from a pure place because there's a way to make the rest of your life the best of your life. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what background. It doesn't matter how many medals and degrees you have. The truth of the matter is that unless your life is full of purpose, unless your life has value and you're giving back to others, we sometimes feel empty. So, of course, I am Dejr Bostick. So, I am the founder of Black Men Meditate, and today we're going to go on a journey. So, stay with me as we go forward. So, what is self care? First time I ever heard anybody talk about self care, I thought it was selfish. I said, my aim is to always help others. So, why I got to turn around and help myself? Until one day I heard heard someone talking about when they were flying on a plane, and they said if it loses pressure in the cabin and the mask fall, do you put the mask on yourself first or do you put it on your loved ones? And me being me at that time, I was like, I'm gonna put it on them. But in my opportunity to put the mask on them and I pass out, we both have failed. So I learned quickly how important it is to sometimes put the mask on yourself first so you can be clear to be able to help others. So often we have individuals that are trying to put masks on other people, but they're not clear themselves. So self-care is so important because it's that moment that you're able to say, you know what, let me make sure that I'm together. Let me make sure that I have the tools and the things that I need to be able to help in a way that I desire to help. So what is self-care? Self-care involves figuring out what aspects of our work and schedules we have control over and making choices about how to spend our available time and energy. One thing you can never get back is your time. So structure is everything when it comes to creating a self-care, being able to move from that chaos to calm. It's going to be the time and the energy you give toward a certain task. Those things are very important. Self-care is far from being self-indulgent. It is a delicate balance for those committed to serving others. I think our aim at all times is who can we help? I used to share this all the time that it didn't matter who they put in the fighting hole as long as they were putting rounds downrange. So I learned very quickly not to look at color or creed. I looked at the ability to get the job done. And that is the balance. Self-care is also the process of maintaining sanity and energy. We often find ourselves in positions where we feel so erratic. We still feel so out of sorts. Your self-care and your mental health is everything, and it has to be priority in your life. You know what they say. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. So to maintain that sanity means that you maintain a level of balance in your life. And those things that matter are priority. Self-care is only a part of the equation. How we allow ourselves to be treated plays a big part in our wellness. How are you allowing those individuals around you to respect you? Have you set certain boundaries? And we'll talk about boundaries later on. But how are you respected among your peers? Do you allow people to run over you? Or do you stand your ground? Do you stand up for yourself? Do you boldly and confidently move toward and throughout your day? Because those things are important. One of the things I share with a lot of my students is that one of the positions that we always do is I always tell them to align their spine, meaning imagine that somebody is picking up a string and pulling the top of your head, and your spine is now aligned. So one morning, one of my students, my 5 a.m. class, asked, well, Mr. Bostick, why do we do that? I said, it's not only the act of being able to be free flowing, but it's also the act of being able to command your day, your position, your posture. One of the things that I fell in love with, and I'm of course biased, is whenever I saw soldiers, whenever I saw Marines, and I saw them buttoned up, and I saw their rank across the shoulder, and their how pressed their uniforms were, and the way we stood, we commanded the day. So I say to you, what happened to that version of you where you commanded the day, where you knew exactly what you needed to do? That version of you is not far gone. You just have to learn how to tap back into that person that commanded respect, that commanded the day, because those things are important. So why is self-care important? Why should we even care about it? Well, Mr. Bostick, look, I have all kind of things to do, all kind of things going on in my life right now. Why should self-care be important? Self-care important because it avoids burnout. You become more productive. It's a rewarding and successful experience. You're happier and less stressed. Self-care allow you to now prioritize those things that are stressful versus those things that are not. One of the things I shared with you at the end of the day is, even in preparing this moment, my computer's crashed, my PowerPoint totally crashed, and then it sent me to somewhere else. And as I'm in this particular area, it said, oh yeah, but it'll take 24 hours for us to bring that up. And at that moment, panic tried to settle in. And I instantly said, nope, I'm staying here, because I know that there's a solution to every problem. My wife comes in and said, what's wrong, babe? I said, yep, everything crashed, but it's okay. So I always smile, say, but it's okay. And she said, not a problem. Send it to me in PowerPoint. I mean, PDF. See, those moments like that, that when we don't allow the pressures of life to throw us around, there's always a solution to every problem that exists. And we just have to be calm enough to hear it. So self-care is important because you're able to live a less stressful life. Every one of us understand that the natural order of life is there going to be some highs and there's going to be some lows. But what we have not been taught is that we don't have to ride the same roller coaster up and down. We find our way to stay in the midst of the ups and downs of life, because we know every high eventually has some form of low, and every low has some form of high. And those moments right there are where we stay here, where we find the things that we need to be able to navigate life and to have a meaningful life. Because to have a meaningful life is to also impact everyone around you. And those things are so important. You can't pour from an empty cup. So often, because we've been conditioned to believe, especially as military veterans, especially as spouses as well, to always be able to just go, 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 go. We take every task as if it's our own mission. Not being able to understand that we are burnt out, not being able to fully understand that, guess what? You're tired. You need to rest. Some of my students often ask me, well, Bostick, when I got ready to meditate, or when I got ready to do some mindfulness, I fell asleep. I said, because your body said you need rest. Because the body knows. So often we're trying to pour from an empty cup and we get frustrated when it's not impactful. But I'm going to show you today how to recharge yourself in a way that when you get ready to pour, that there is more than enough. Is that okay? Oh, y'all engaged today. Y'all got me. I'm so happy. So let's talk about burnout for a moment. In my career, I faced burnout because I was trying to put a square peg into a round hole. And I was like, it gotta fit. Because I had been conditionally taught to that just keep pushing, just keep going, just make it happen. But sometimes there's never the right fit at that moment. So I started getting burnt out. So if any of you right now are feeling like, man, I just feel like I got so much going on, I'm feeling myself burned out, I don't have the passion that I once had for this job, position, whatever it is, those are kind of key indicators that a burnout is ensuing. So it's about recognizing it, recognizing that your physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion, those three things, like you're mentally exhausted. Or if you're like, man, can't go to sleep because I keep thinking about my job. I keep thinking about all these things that's going on in my life. Like those moments right there, that's burnout ensuing. Or believing your work doesn't have meaning. Feeling that, guess what, you're just going through the motions. Or having low energy. You don't have that spark that you once had. You're getting up just to get up. You're going through the motions just to go through the motions. But your countenance is saying everything. Your face is showing that, guess what? That you have now given up at this phase of life. Or persistent, negative, or cynical attitude. You're always upset. You're always angry. You're always negative. Because sometimes when you don't know what to say, what's inside of you will always come out. And if your life is now in a place that you don't desire for it to be, you're automatically going to speak negatively against those things that you wish you had or you wish you were a part of. And those things are the difference between living a life of meaning and just living a mundane life. So, what are some of the causes? Frail personal boundaries. I can't wait for us to touch on boundaries. Financial issues. Sometimes when you're used to that particular check every 2 weeks, and then you come onto a world that, or when I started, I got into a contract where I got paid every month. So I got behind on certain things, waiting for that month to come. So I started getting burnt out. Or chronic personal struggles. Anxiety is one of the greatest things that I'm seeing now amongst those individuals that I'm working with at the VA, full of anxiety and full of stress to the point where it is showing up in their body. It is scientifically proven that stress weighs on the body. It shuts down some of your functions of your body, heart palpitations, migraines, all of these things, because we don't have an outlet to be able to release those things that we're truly feeling. And then change, new beginnings, losses or struggles. When I got out of the Marines, it was new for me. It was so new that I was like, look, how am I supposed to navigate this world? Who am I reporting to? What is my assignment? What am I supposed to be doing? Those moments were pivotal in me figuring out that, guess what? I have to change in some areas. And I'm seeing so many individuals right there in that place that are saying those exact words. How am I supposed to make it through what I'm going through right now? And the truth of the matter, one thing is that you can never tell, because some of us are so good at putting on the mask. Some of us are so good at being exactly what people need to see. But when we're by ourselves and we take off our mask and we don our image, who are we really? Because that's the individual that you have to look in the mirror at every single day and be proud of, to know that, guess what? You're navigating a chaotic world. And so many individuals can't find that balance. But today we're going to talk. Today we're going to go to the next level. So what is good self-care? Being able to set good boundaries, to embrace your total self, your strengths, and your vulnerabilities. None of us are perfect. Every one of us are a work in perfection, but none of us are perfect. So I had to learn to embrace the good parts of me and the parts that needed to be changed. The areas in my life that I was trying to hold on to because it reminded me of a past. I wanted to hold on to it because I felt if I let this go, who would I be? But sometimes letting go a past version of yourself, letting go a old mindset that you had once had, would allow you to become renewed in your life, would allow you to find that calm. People see me now that was served with me and like, man, it's just something about you. Like you exude a positive energy. And I always tell them, you don't know what it took to get here. Because there were many days that I wanted to give up. There was many days that I wanted to say, look, what is it all for? There were so many days that I wanted to just say, man, I quit. But every day I got up and I kept moving forward because I knew that guess what? Where I was going did not equate to where I currently was at. Where I was going was so much more greater. I just needed to keep moving. You see, whenever we stop moving, we can't be productive because productivity is everything. So another one is exercise and play regularly. Getting up, movement. Well, Mr. Bostick, I can't get things together. Well, are you working out? Are you exercising? Are you moving? No, I just stay in the house all day long and watch TV. Well, there we have it. That's one area that you're able to shift and change. Get out into this world, as chaotic as it is, because it is also able to teach us lessons concerning life. So for me, remember I told you I was 258 pounds. I was 258 pounds just last year, November. And one day I woke up and I made a decision. I said, you know what? I'm now going to take my body to a level that most can't. And from November to March 13th, I stepped on the stage of a men's physique NPC show at 154 and I won it. I stepped back on another stage on May 1st and I won that show as well. And now I 6 weeks out from my now the ability to get my pro card in 6 weeks in Orlando, Florida. And guess what? I'll win that as well. How could I have so much confidence? Because I know exactly what it takes to be able to be so set in your mind concerning what you desire to be. I told somebody, they asked me, how were you able to do that? I said, because I locked into my mind a version of me that had the body of my dreams, that had the mindset of my dreams. And I became that individual daily. Was it easy? No. Nothing in this life is easy, but I stayed with it. So now to the point where I'm able to show individuals how to transform your life. So often we speak to people that haven't lived. I've lived it. I've thought about suicide. I've thought about giving up. I've thought I've lost everything. I've been poor. I've had a whole lot of money. In the midst of all of these things, I knew that at any given moment, anyone can change. All they need is the right thought. So to be able to move from chaos to calm, it must be the right thought implanted. And my aim is to do that today. So also know what relaxes you. Know what calms you down. I share with my students all the time that meditation is not a time, it's a space. So that if 6:30 was my time and I miss 6:30, then I feel like I'm off. But if my closet or this one area in my bedroom is my space, no matter what, when I get there, I'll relax. So one of the things I would advise you to do is find your space that you're able to commit 1 to 3 minutes a day. What does that look like? That you're able to just be still. Oh, Mr. Boss, I can't keep my mind still. Well, I'll show you how to breathe your way into a still mind. But those areas and those spaces allow you to now relax yourself. It could be a certain TV show. It could be a certain song, but find that thing that relaxes you. I'll share this with you. There is something about when the Marine Corps song comes on. It just takes me there. It relaxes me. It makes me feel proud. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel excited. And that's one of the things sometimes when I feel that life is, I put that on and it now centers me again. So find those things that's going to relax you. Also make a checklist of small projects that you can complete. There's nothing better than the feeling of accomplishing something. No matter how small it is something innately inside of us that when we accomplish a task, there's a certain level that we feel. Endorphins begin to flow throughout our body. There's a level of excitement of knowing that guess what? I started something and I finished it. Because anyone can start something, but only the great ones can finish it. So it could be that honey-do list. I know I'm talking about me too, because it's a window out here that I got to put some plywood up on. My wife keeps getting on me about. I'll get it. I promise you I'll get it. But those honey-do lists, those little small things that you're able to say, hey, I want to be able to accomplish this. For my brother, one of my older brothers, and it's 9 of us, so I come from a very big family. One of my oldest brothers, he picked up RC cars, like he like really, and they are moving like 200 miles an hour. But that's his stress reliever. He said, when I'm able to build these things, then I'm able to feel a level of confidence. And he said somehow it just carries over into the rest of his day. It carries over into his life. So finding those little small projects that you can utilize as well. The highs are higher and the lows are lower. What I mean is that when you are here and your mindset and your mind state is here, you can only go higher. Because what happens is the bar will continue to be raised based upon the way that you think. But have you ever got up in the morning, stumped your toe, or your outfit got messed up through the iron, or you're late and it created a monopoly effect of other bad things? Then you're late for traffic. Then a coworker says something that you didn't like. Then your kid's school is calling. Because the key is always to stay at a high place, even in the midst of the lows. So when I'm down here, or if I find myself in a low place, I quickly try to find that thing that's going to bring me higher. It could be through comedy, laughing, whatever it is. I try to find that thing that's going to allow me to stay here, because those things are so important. So I want you to set boundaries, and I'm gonna move a little bit quicker through these, because I really want to get us to a live guided meditation. So set boundaries with your time. You are not obligated to give your time limitlessly to those around you. Read your inner cues and know that it is okay to set boundaries with others in order to protect your emotional well-being. Like innately, you feel it inside of you, be like, yeah, something doesn't feel right about this situation, this conversation, whatever it is. Listen to the inner cues, because it's trying to tell you the whole time what you need to be able to come out and set this particular boundary. And as well as surround yourself with positivity and affirmations. Your circle or those individuals that you're attaining around you are so pivotally important because they will allow you to become either the best version of yourself or a worse version of yourself. So for me personally, I am very critical about who I have in my circle. My aim is never to be the smartest person in my circle. I always want individuals around me that's going to feed into me, feed positivity, and going to tell me to keep pushing and keep going. It's almost like having your own band of personal cheerleaders that able to say, "Hey, keep going, keep going." So your circle is so important to your development and so important when you're having that chaotic moment that you have somebody going to say, nope, let's come out of that. When my brothers call me and they call complaining, I said, nope. I said, you finished? I said, yeah. I said, all right, what's the solution? Because you want individuals around you that's going to foster and allow you to become greater in that particular area. So set boundaries with your space. When we work from home, it can be difficult to differentiate between work and home. Find a specific workplace separate from your leisure spaces and work there. And once you are done with work, do something to clearly mark the end of the day. Close the door to your workspace, change your clothes, or go for a walk. I cannot tell you how often I hear people saying, I just can't shut my mind down. Well, you're in this space with this job, working from home. So at any given time, you can run back in there and you don't know how to shut things down. When you don't prioritize your own self-care, your own mental well-being, everything begins to run over. Everything begins to now work on the time that you should be spending with yourself or with family members. So being able to have that dedicated break, what stops the ends your day? Like for me, before I walk into the house, I said, okay, the day is done. Now it's time for me to be a daddy. It's time for me to be a husband. So I leave those things where they are, and I'm able to now be fully engaged in every area of my life. Same way when I'm at the gym, 5 o'clock in the morning. I walk in that gym. I'm not thinking about work. I'm not thinking about home. I'm here to do a task. I'm here to do a job. And that's how you have to approach certain boundaries. So 5 daily self-care tips. Tip 1, do something that helps you get offline and off your to-do list for a few minutes. This will help you feel more rested. And this also creates more of an opportunity to prioritize how you spend your time and energy. It could be a hike. It could be a particular, I was about to say shopping, but I think my wife will hear me. But it could be that retail therapy with moderation. It could be that reach, but whatever allows you to take your mind off those things that are stressing you, you have to be able to find something that's going to now disconnect you from that thing that's creating all of these anxieties and these stressors in your particular life. So you want to prioritize not only your time and when you're doing it, but also your energy. Tip 2, talk to someone, and I can't stress this. Talk to someone that gets it, but isn't caught up in the drama, preferably someone outside of your work home environment. We all have to have somebody to reach out to. And sometimes it needs to be somebody that isn't so intimately connected to whatever that thing is that's stressing you. You always want to have a sounding board. You always want to have what we call a war buddy, a bunkmate. You always want to have somebody that you're able to say, hey, look, things aren't going well. One of the greatest things when I started doing research on the suicides is the majority of them and their family members said they just felt they didn't have anybody to talk to. And I know personally for me, I offer opportunity to be able to do text messaging services anonymously. Hey, what's going on in your life? Hey, I don't want you to know who this is, but I'm having a really hard time kind of coping right now because I got out of the military and I can't find a job. Or I got out of the military and now I just can't deal with family members desiring all these things from me that I can't give them. So you always want to have somebody that you can speak to that's outside of it. What has been your chief stressor so far? And if you can put it in the chat, what has been your chief stressor? What has been stressing you lately? And if you haven't been stressed, I honor you because we're dealing with a very interesting world right now. So, what has been your chief stressor? Oh, my child. Yes, yes. So, I have a 21-year-old daughter that's a senior at a college, HBCU in North Carolina. And she got to one, she got to one situation, and she was just like, "Hey," she was like, "I'm grown now, and I'm not going to listen to you." So for a period of time, it was interesting navigating, and I'm sharing this for someone. I don't know why, but it was interesting because I automatically wanted to daddy her. You don't do, you can't tell me what to do. I'm your daddy, but I had to learn a different approach to how to deal with her. And the approach was to find out what she loves and learn how you can help her be greater and love more of that. So my daughter wanted to work out. I said, "Oh, well, I've done some shows." I said, "How can I help you?" And that's what allowed us to bridge that gap. So often it's crazy it may seem, especially when it comes to children. It's crazy it may seem, they just want you to get them, to feel them. And sometimes that's what's the connection that's needed. And to understand that, guess what? Everybody is going through something right now, from kids to adults. So we just have to find that synergy. Finding jobs, hubby and I are retiring within 30 days apart. Mine was unexpected. Yep. So, like I said, those moments like that. And there's certain affirmations that I share because those things that you affirm, you in turn will attract. So it's about being clear. I told my wife before she got her newest position with this new company, I said everything you wants you once you become clear on what you really want. And that's one of the things I share everywhere I go is that I am able to do the things that I'm doing right now in my life because I got laser clear on the type of man that I wanted to be, the type of impact I wanted to have, and the type of life that I wanted to live. And it's a life of service to all of mankind, black, white, green, red, or purple. So looking for a job, yep. So y'all are definitely in the right place because I know I had the opportunity to hear some of the speakers and they were talking about jobs and transitioning, things like that. And those things are so needed right now. So tip number 3, get out of fight position. This is how I was at all times. I was ready to fight because I always felt that there had to be a fight and someone for me to get what I wanted. And then one day I put my arms down. And when I put my arms down, I was able to now find solutions outside of my fight position. Because when you're in fight position, think about it. You're not thinking. I remember there were times being in certain settings where there was a lot going on around me, and I'll say it that way. And I could not hear, I couldn't think because I was in fight position. So any movement, I was on alert, every movement until I put my arms down. And whatever came, I observed, I took it in, and I created a solution. So tip number 3, get out of fight position. Stop looking for a war. Stop looking for a fight and stop being present in the moment. Don't work yourself to illness or breakdown. We're so conditioned to just keep going, going, going. I tell anybody, if you've been in the military, there's a certain level that I think they just put it in us. You just keep going, no matter what. But sometimes I had to learn to slow down and enjoy life because before long, years had passed. And I was like, wow, I missed so much of my life. I missed so much of what was going on around me because I was so busy trying to keep getting it right and just keep pushing and going that I didn't take time for myself. So don't work yourself to illness or breakdown. Tip tip five is going to be the 555 method. The 555 method is a method that I created of breathing. It's been scientifically proven that breathing is the only scientifically proven way to reduce stress and anxiety. If you think about it for a moment, whenever you get upset, whenever you get mad, whenever you get angry, your breathing is erratic. It's forceful. It's chaotic. But what happens is whenever you're able to, with intent, breathe, you're able to quickly calm yourself down. And the 555 method is easy. It's 5 seconds of inhale, then you're going to hold it for 5 seconds, and then you're going to do 5 seconds of exhale. There are other methods out there for breathing, but this one works for me because now I have to actively think about holding that breath and now releasing it. And some of my students say it works so quickly because now I'm able to be ready for whatever task is at hand. I share with them that sometimes you don't have opportunity to sit down cross-legged or lie down in savasana or a yoga pose. Sometimes it's the moment that you have from going from one office to the next that you need to quickly calm down, that you need to quickly relax. You need to quickly be present. So the 555 method, again, is going to be 5 seconds of inhale. Then you're going to hold for 5 seconds, then 5 seconds of exhale. And I'll share more with those that desire. Self-care takes too much time. Prioritize self-care and make it a part of your daily routine. 555 breathing takes about 1 minute to do and can be done in between other tasks and activities. And you will literally feel, because oxygen is not only flowing throughout the body and into the blood, so you feel rejuvenated, you feel revived. And progressive muscle relaxation takes about 2 minutes and can also be done in between other tasks and activities. It can be just you sitting up and down out of your chair. It could be neck stretches, wrist stretches. Those things allow you to now release tension. Tension area is going to be your neck, your wrist holds tension, shoulders hold tension. So being able to now walk yourself down to relax those areas, understand that how powerful you are when it comes to the things that you speak, when you're able to now close your eyes and tell your body to now relax, tell your shoulders to relax, tell the tension and the stress in your neck to relax, flowing out through your body. See, those moments are so very key in your self-care journey and how to quickly go from chaos to calm. So how do you relax? So if I can ask in the chat, how do you relax? When you feel that life is just stressful, like how do you relax? What is your go-to? I like this the animation over to the left where it says, I'm learning how to relax, doctor, but I want to relax better and faster. I want to be on the cutting edge of relaxation. Don't we all? Like I'm at a place right now that because I've been practicing so long that I'm not saying that things don't rattle me, but my approach to those things that rattle me have changed. So now I've learned to find that balance in the midst of that chaos. I've learned to find that calm in the midst of chaos. So how do you relax? And this is a self-care assessment, and I'll make sure that I get it over to Jordana for any individual that wants to. It's just your physical self-care, eating healthy foods. Which one are you at? Are you taking care of personal hygiene, exercise, wear clothes that help me feel good about myself? I was telling my wife, I said, babe, I just love this turtleneck look. I said, babe, I think it's me. I think it's my uniform now. And she said, well, you do look good. And I said, yeah, you would say that. So I'm excited about that. But just those little things like that, eating regularly, getting enough sleep, rest is everything. I learned that on my fitness journey, how important rest is because and what it does to the body. From there, we do a guided meditation. Hopefully this comes up and it's going to be a quick 5 minutes. And then we'll open it up for a quick question and answer. Let's see if it plays for us. Each day. So it's not going to play on there, but that's okay. So while I am pulling it up, what I want you to do just very quickly is go ahead and sit up in your chair wherever you're at. I want you to go ahead and align that spine.
Want to launch a profitable coaching program in
that's not it. And I want you to just go ahead and relax. I want you to feel wherever you're holding tension now in your body. I want you to pay attention to that. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear the music. Awesome. So I want you to go ahead and sit straight up in your chair. I want you to go ahead and align that spine. If you're wondering places to put these two things, you can put them on your knee. You can put them by your side. You can do palms up or palms down. It doesn't matter. But at this moment, I want you to just get really still. And then I want you to find a place in the room or wherever you're at that you can stare for 5 seconds. And at the end of those 5 seconds, I want you to just go ahead and close your eyes. Finding your place. Beginning to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close your eyes. And I want you to just pay attention to your body. I want you to pay attention what's going on. Some of you may be feeling a tingling sensation. Some of you may be feeling your heartbeat or listen to the noises around you or just listening to my voice. But this moment is yours. This is your moment to relax, to get still, to get grounded, and to be better. It is understanding that this moment is so yours that every part of your body and being is relaxing. Holding stress in your shoulders, relax. In your arms, relax. Flowing down through your legs and shins and calves, relax. Down to your feet, relax. And with every inhale, you're inhaling everything that you need for today. Strength, power, purpose, peace, passion. And I want you to imagine with every exhale, you're exhaling those things that no longer serve you. Stress, anxiety, fear. And every inhale, you're inhaling those things that you need for today. Wisdom, courage, power, passion, forgiveness. And every exhale, you're exhaling those things that no longer serve you. Fear, stress, anxiety, fear of the unknown, fear of the known. Getting exactly what you need, not thinking about what will happen after this session, but right now, get exactly what you need. Staying present in the moment, feeling the air as you inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. This moment belongs to you. And I want you to imagine really quickly that you're at the bottom of 5 stair steps. And at the top of these steps is a gold door that leads you out into the rest of your day. And every step you feel yourself feeling renewed and revived, refreshed and restored. And we begin to walk up now. 1, 2, 3, renewed and restored, refreshed and revived. 4, 5, open the door and slowly open your eyes. Find yourself getting adjusted back to the room. Slowly moving your fingers and toes. Being present in the moment. Getting exactly what you need. If you need to take another deep breath, you can. And deep breath in. And exhale. Another deep breath in. And exhale. So the process to be able to move from chaos to calm has to be something that you're willing to commit to daily and very much needed. So I want to go ahead and open it up very quickly for questions and answer, and I'll still be around afterwards. Thank you for allowing me to share my gift with you, to allow me to share those moments that I felt like I wasn't even going to make it. Transitioning from the military into civilian life is not easy. And I wanted to give up so many times, and I lost everything. But I found me, and life is good. I ended up remarrying the love of my life. My kids adore me, and I'm doing exactly what I'm passionate about. So this moment is pivotal for me, as it's almost like the takeoff, because I know I'm doing exactly what I've been created to do. But one day I was full of chaos, and with every day working toward it, I'm now full of calm, and you can too. So if you have any questions, I'll open it up. I didn't mean to get emotional there, but this is a beautiful moment. And I'm so grateful for Jeddah, and I'm so grateful for the Recon Network. So extremely grateful for Veteran Employment and Transit Summit. Grateful for the speakers. Grateful for you for showing up. So many people didn't, but you're getting exactly what you need at this moment. All right, Jordana, if you wanted to see if there's any questions. Man, I do see one. Okay, go ahead.
I'll let you do it if you want to.
Yes. What do you say to people who believe that meditation is anti-Christian? And I'm so glad you said that. And I'll let you in on something. I pastored for 12 years, so I'm always ready for this question. So one of the things that I always tell individuals that meditation is not a religion, but meditation is the quietness, it's the stillness of being able to quietly be in your existence. And then I walk them through, if they're talking about from a Christian standpoint, I walk them through the life of Jesus Christ. And before he did any miracle, the Bible says that he went around, and he went through to pray and to meditate. So for those individuals saying that it's anti-Christian, is very much Christian. It's very much a believer's choice. And it's that stillness. So many individuals ask me, do you do Western meditation, Eastern meditation? I said, I do functional meditation, because I do meditation that you need to use right now. You can't find no yoga mat. When you can't lie down, where you can't sit cross-legged, but you can always breathe. Awesome, awesome. Oh man, thank you, Mark. Yep. I'm glad I helped confirm what you were already thinking. Okay. Oh
Unless
yeah, you
anybody has
are.
any other questions.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm like I said, I'm happy. I'm excited. I know we're at our time now, um, and I'm just grateful. I hope you all got something out of this, something that you can put in your tool chest. Those chaotic moments in your life that you're able to say, "Ah, he said breathe. Let me try this thing." Yes,
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and for walking us through this. There's no better way to go into the weekend than like this. So,
absolutely.
thank you so, so much and for spending your time with us today. Everybody else will be in the lounge for a little while if you want to hang
Mhm.
out with us, but it's also Friday
Absolutely.
at 5. So,
Mhm.
if you don't make it, thank you guys so much for coming this week. Have a
Okay.
great weekend, and hopefully we'll get to see you again soon.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks.